Good morning again. I'm Elise Richmond, and you're listening to the Elise Richmond Show, and I have here with me Debbie Bachigalupi. I think I just botched it up.
You did.
Please say your name again, my dear.
It's Bachigalupi.
Bachigalupi. I just can't get that together, and I just want to challenge anyone out there to call me up right now on the radio and spell that name. Okay, I'm so glad that you're here. We are at the Sustainable Renewable Forum, AB 32, and we are right now talking about water rights in Siskiyou County. And I found out talking to Debbie here that we have a friend in common on the water board there with her father up in Siskiyou County, Louise Gliato. So tell us about the water board, because they're fighting the good fight so that they don't tear down those 4 dams.
They are with, so there's two valleys, the Scott Valley and the Shasta Valley. The Siskiyou County Water Users Association, which is, you know, they're like my dad is on the board, and he's a professional engineer. We have scientists, we have PhD, we've got former educators. I mean, it's just a brilliant group of people, and they have been working very, very hard to get the word out and the science out. In fact, we did a film that's probably Dam Removal 101, and it was called Defend Rural America. It can be found on YouTube, where people can actually hear the scientific facts about Klamath River, about how it's a reverse. Even the National Geographic called it a reverse system. Most rivers start in high mountains. The water is super clean, and as it gets closer to the ocean, the water actually gets dirtier. But this river is different because it starts in Upper Lake, which is in southern Oregon, and the lakes that the river actually runs through are shallow lakes. They're full of, so it's warm water. This is high arid Mediterranean desert. And there's natural phosphorus on these lakes, so like algae. And the algae is actually excellent for fertilizing. Mm-hmm. And so we have great agriculture land because of this naturally occurring phosphorus that is in these lakes.
And you know, what I'm hearing from everybody in their unique situations concerning United Nations Agenda 21 is all the ways that Agenda 21 and these people are attempting to change our lives.
Yeah.
If you change, you have a cause, whether it's the coho salmon or whatever, and that's the cause, and you build up and build up. Mm-hmm. But you said the magic word, Debbie. You mentioned the word facts.
Yeah.
That you actually, and your father, and these scientists and educators and engineers know the actual facts. So it's not built on emotion of, oh my lands, we're going to lose this little fish, or we're going to lose this cute little spotted owl. Yeah. They are ruining whole communities on emotion that is not factual or scientifically based.
Absolutely.
And in all of this, I heard about a $25,000 fish. What the heck is that all about?
That's your lovely coho salmon, which is non-indigenous, it's non-native, and does not belong in that river. But the Native American Indians there's 4 tribes that are specifically involved in this fight. 3 of the 4 tribes want dam removal.
Oh, really? Now, why would that be?
Because they get thousands of acres and millions of dollars, and should dam removal occur, the government has given them the opportunity to restore the river, which for them is jobs. For us, we lose our land. Going back to the full basin management with all the tributaries running into the river, under the Environmental Impact Report and Study, I believe it's right around chapter 3.14 of the study, they discuss turning ranch lands into wetlands. And my mom, would tell you, all you have to do is throw water on a certain area for a while, and all of a sudden it turns into a wetland.
Exactly.
So they're using this $25,000 fish. So what they're doing to the ranchers and farmers is saying that this coho belongs in the tributaries. And again, these fish were planted. Our ranch, for example, the ground in the water, the ground is boron rich. It's basalt, it's volcanic area. It's Mount Shasta area. And there's lots of nutrients in these waters. We have trout, but we don't have salmon in our little river. So if one of these salmon is found dead on our property, or a fingerling, which, you know, is about the size of your pinky or an egg, our own California Department of Fish and Game could charge us up to $25,000 per incident.
That's an outrage.
Outrageous.
It's an absolute outrage. So much of this climate change and Agenda 21 is an outrage. It's so far-fetched. You can't even really believe it's happening in America, but believe me, folks, it is. Now, you have been talking about the fish and all. I'm going to bring us back to the ranching.
Yeah.
Because you literally are on this ranch, and we want to talk about why would people not want us to have cows, outside of the fact that we know everybody wants us to be vegetarian if you are a left-wing wacko.
Yeah.
I don't want to be vegetarian. I like cheeseburgers. I also like cows. I think they're cute.
Well, it's like the raw milk. You know, you have high nutrient-dense food, and it just seems that, and I don't quite understand why our government would not want us to be healthy, but, you know, the chemicals in the water, fluoride in the water, you know, you can't go to bed without going to bed in chemicals, inflammable, you know, mattresses and sheets and all of that. I'm not sure why they don't want us to be healthy, except the only thing that makes sense is they want us off the lands, and they want to get to what I heard is the ideal population for the United Nations is somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million people. So how, or 500 million to 1 billion people, I think is the number. So how do you get rid of 6 billion people?
Exactly. Yeah, how do you do that?
You don't give them food you restrict them, you control what food they eat, you
Right.
control what water they drink, which the Department of Fish and Game wants 80% of all water going out to sea. So I have a question for them. If, with global warming, our glaciers are melting.
Yes, global warming.
So the glaciers are melting. In fact, general plans are based on, you know, all these one Bay Area, and general plans are based on the seas rising 4 feet something. So if our seas are rising 4 feet, and the United Nations is going to declare, I think, March something Water Day, World Water Day, because supposedly we're running out of fresh water to drink, because we ranchers and farmers are taking.
It's those cows again.
I know.
They drink up all the water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, we're running out of water. The seas are rising. Why the heck would you be on a superhighway agenda to remove valuable dams and water storage in the United States?
I think it's probably the same reason that the whole breadbasket in the Central Valley shut the water off, and then you can't grow anything. That was an absolute sin, as far as I'm concerned, when you would drive up I-5 and see that. It was heartbreaking to see it. I came from a small farm area in southern Illinois, and you would look out at those almond trees on I-5, or the peaches or grapes or whatever was out there growing, and there was a time you would drive through there, and it was like solid pink when all the things were blooming, and another patch would be solid white, and it was absolutely beautiful up against those mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And you would drive down there now, and it's a dust bowl, and all the jobs that are gone. So it seems to me, let's drive everybody into a city, live in a little box. Don't drive a Corvette, because that could have some style. We don't want to have any more Jaguars. Let's have those little boxy things that look like little crazy motorcycles with in a little cage. Smart cars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know,
They're
Debbie.
unsmart.
They're unsmart. You know what I always say? If it says smart anything, run, run, run.
I love it.
And tell all your friends.
Yeah.
Well, back to the lifestyle changes.
Yep.
What else is in store for us with all those lifestyle changes?
Well, just to give an idea, so besides the fish being on our, you know, being planted, actually the Department of Fish and Game wanted to plant these fish, these coho salmon and tributaries, to see if they could restore the fish. So they've also partnered with the Nature Conservancy and are buying ranches, and this is with taxpayer dollars, by the way.
Of course. They never would use their own dollars, because that would be
well,
really...
supposedly they're out of money,
Right.
Yet they're hiring new employees and
growing government. It's what they love to do.
Mm-hmm. So we have things like alterations in old regulations. So we have these permits called 1600 or 1602 permits, which is stream bed alteration. And we are required, as landowners with water on our property, to maintain the creek beds or the river beds, the embankments.
Mm-hmm.
And where our government is heading is, we believe, is that you will have to have a permit if you want to walk through any kind of river or any kind of, because to them it's alteration. When you walk through that creek, you're altering the river. And we also believe that they're going to try and pull this on stream beds that have had no water for many, many years. So we have that. We have fencing. They're planning on enforcing fencing along rivers, so 150, 100, I don't know what the setback is, but it's on each side of the river. So this is prime agriculture land. You know, and we have elk, we have bear, we have deer. All these animals walk through the river.
Uh-oh, I
but
thought
we're
they were...
responsible for the $25,000 fish if they step and kill that fish.
And I really thought that they were, all these environmentalists loved animals.
I thought
Why
so
would they
too.
fence them off from water? Why would you stop the water going around to all of this area?
Well, you know, they've released wolves now. We have a wolf.
Tell us about that.
We have a wolf. His name is OR7. He's from Oregon. I believe he's from Oregon, which is the OR. He's a 2-year-old male. He's got a collar wrapped around his neck. So you can actually go to California Department of Fish and Game's website to see where this cute little wolf is roaming in our area. And, you know, wolves kill.
Yes, they do.
And in fact, there's a great movie called Crying Wolf on Vimeo. It's just a beautiful, well-done movie, and they show how the wolves are taking over Yellowstone and killing the livestock or the animals, the elk, the deer that our own, you know, wildlife and fisheries agencies claim to be saving. So with OR7, he's roaming around, and if you know he's attacking your cattle or whatever, it's protected. So if you shoot it, it dies on your property. They can GPS it to your property, and you either go to jail or get fined, or all of the above.
This is unbelievable. The regulations are crushing.
Mm-hmm.
They are absolutely crushing. What happened to land of the free and home of the brave?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
The other thing that California has the Williamson Act, which the Williamson Act was really beneficial to farmers and ranchers. You could only, the Williamson Act, you know, you hear the saying, land rich, money poor.
Yes.
So we have land, and we have beautiful, conserved, protected land that we love. It's gorgeous. It's more pretty now than when my parents bought it 35 years ago, and I say many ranchers could say this about their property. So the Williamson Act, in order to help farmers and ranchers stay in business, the Williamson Act it's 10 years, as we heard earlier, but you only have to pay taxes on that land in which you profit from. So instead of paying taxes on, you know, 3,000 acres and your cows are only on 500 acres, you pay taxes on the 500 acres and not the 3,000 acres. Without the Williamson Act, we're going to have ranchers and farmers out of business very soon. And then on top of that, we're having new fire permits that, as landowners, we have to pay for. It's just hard to keep up with. It's unfair. Why are they doing this to us?
There certainly is an agenda, and I think it's called United Nations Agenda 21. Get all you ranchers under control there, and all you farmers. And we're going to be coming right back in just a minute. You're listening to the Elise Richmond Show. We thank our guest, Debbie, for being here with us. I'm not even going to go after her last name anymore. And we're coming right back. I'm Elise Richmond, K News 94.3 FM.